the national one that, was held last summer, I believe.
Right.
That was all virtual.
That was all virtual.
Everything.
And this year we're going to be back in person.
That's wonderful. And you placed in that pageant.
Yes, I did. I was, yes, I did.
Yes, you did. You were in the top 10.
By the way.
I forgot. I was in the
Carolyn's
top 10.
so humble. Yes, she was in the top 10.
One of the top 10 finalists for Miss Senior America in the United States. So that was just thrilling. And we were on pins and needles as they called out the top 10. And then, so I think I was number 6.
Life's Third Act is a podcast dedicated to helping you get the most out of your retirement. Sponsored by TuckerAllen, attorney CPA Joe Cordell features guests each week to discuss prominent topics for those over 55. Welcome to another episode of Life's Third Act. I'm Jill Enders, going solo. Joe Cordell has the day off. Want to remind everyone, be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. Today's show, we are dedicating to one of our most memorable guests, Virginia Leitner. She was on the show back in the fall, and Virginia passed away just this past March at the age of 107. And I only met Virginia once, the time she was on the show, and I have to say, she really made an impression on me. A delightful lady, very talented artist, a gal that's very feisty. But most of all, I found her to be someone that, had a heart bigger than herself. I still remember, and I still have the prayer that she gave me when she was on the show. So I'm just feel so privileged and honored to have known her. So, Virginia, this show is for you. And moving right along, we have 2 returning guests, a very popular guest, the reigning Miss Senior Missouri, Carolyn Schlueter, and Susan Pellegrino, the pageant's producer and the second runner-up in the 2014 pageant. Ladies, so happy to have you back, my gal pals. We always have so much fun.
We do.
We definitely do. So, Carolyn, let's get to you.
Okay.
Your reign's coming to an end, and
Yes.
you've been such a wonderful, marvelous queen. So let's kind of review. Your reign was not typical because of, we can't say the word, but the P word, that bad word. Yeah,
Yes,
that very bad word.
Bad word.
But it wasn't typical. You were in the pageant in 2019.
Yes.
Okay, and so tell us how that all came about.
I was first runner-up in 2019, which was quite a surprise. I wasn't expecting anything like that, so it made it even more fun. And then we had that
bad word.
That bad
We're not
word.
going to say that
That
P
canceled
word.
everything.
Yes, it did. So the national pageant decided that it was time for the, because the other queen had been she had been in, I can't talk today.
That's okay.
2019 and 2020, we had the same queen because in 2020, everything was canceled.
Right.
State pageants, the national pageants, but they wanted to get back to having something. So in 2021, they offered a virtual pageant, and we decided it was time to move on. So the club decided to give Carolyn a promotion, but since she had been our most recent first runner-up, we had a coronation, and we crowned her as our 2021 queen
And that
to
was
compete in the virtuals.
That was a very good choice, definitely.
Yes, it was.
So, Carolyn, what do you think you've enjoyed most about being Miss Senior Missouri?
Well, I've enjoyed every minute of it. I think meeting the people is what is. It was very exciting, and they're so happy when they, surprised when they see like Miss Missouri Senior America, and it's like the congratulations and everything. It's like I was holding a new baby.
Celebration.
And,
Right, right.
And so there have been a lot of memorable moments.
And you've had a lot of really neat opportunities, with this position, with this role. What was it? Just the other day you were at a race?
Yes, at Van Duel, the new racetrack in Fairmont Fairmont City.
Right.
And yes, in fact, I was honored. The first race was in my name, and in the program book that everyone gets, first race, Carolyn Schlueter, Miss Missouri Senior America, and I was treated royally, and I was honored to give out the trophy to the owner of the winning horse, and he was so gracious. He said, "I want you to have my trophy."
Really?
And I was
Can you believe that?
overwhelmed.
How
Yes.
lovely is
Yeah,
that?
so that was a nice surprise, and I wound up being on a TV station twice in the news that evening. So it was just a very memorable day that I will always remember for the rest of my life. Mhm.
And you have represented the pageant well. And in fact, Susan, you've said that no other queen has represented the pageant as well as Carolyn.
I feel that way. Now, I've been in the club since 2014, so some of the queens before then might want to argue with me, but Carolyn is just a very special lady because she has so many talents. In the pageant, she played the piano,
Right.
but where her talents have really helped her to promote our organization and Senior America in general is through her photography and her art.
Right.
Because she's gone to many different shows, art shows. She's had her photography juried in various
Art shows.
competitions,
Competitions.
and won.
Well,
Or
just
certainly
recently.
placed. Yes.
Definitely. You know, what was it in St. Charles?
Yes, at the Framations. I took second place with The Age of Wisdom, a lovely gentleman with a beard, long white beard and long hair.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that one.
Yes,
I
thank
love that
you.
one.
Uh-huh.
So now, what do you think you're going to miss most about the pageant?
That's a good question.
Well, you always get to be part of the pageant.
Yes,
It's just
But
you
being
won't get to be reigning queen.
The reigning queen. What are you going to miss most about that?
Probably, I guess, just going out and meeting people. I don't know. There was just so much going on.
Yeah. Yeah, kept you busy. Now, do you still plan to be involved in the pageant?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
What do you think you're going to do?
I don't know. I'll volunteer for
One
something.
thing she probably will help play the piano, although we do have a couple of other pianists in the club, but it's always good to have backup. And there's always something to do to help with the pageant. And if nothing else, to promote it. I mean, she'll always have that sash. That's
Right.
hers to wear whenever. And Senior America, for their 40th, several years ago, came out with what they called the ruby tiaras. And it looks just like this one, but in the main places there across the front, there's like a ruby stone instead of the clear stone. So that shows you're a past queen, but you're still allowed to wear that. So she'll just be trading that in for her ruby
my
tiara,
ruby
and she
tiara.
can
And you have that.
Yes, I
right.
have it. Mhm.
and she can still be flashy and
And she will
promote
do
it.
it well. She
Yes.
will do it well.
Yes, I hope so.
I know you will. So what's next for Carolyn besides being involved in the pageant?
Probably just kind of chilling out a little bit and relaxing.
Taking a little break.
Taking a little break, getting back into photography more. And I have a watercolor painting class scheduled in August, so I'm looking forward to that with Shirley Nachtrieb. So I don't know, life will continue on. Spending more time with my sweetie, too.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. And how is your sweetie?
He's doing fine.
Now, how long have you guys been together?
24 wonderful years.
My goodness.
Seems like it was just yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
That you guys are sweethearts then.
And we still like each other.
That's good.
That's amazing because a lot of times after 10 years, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're okay, but I'll let you stick around. I'll tolerate you, but that's wonderful.
no.
That is wonderful.
Thank you.
And you two ladies, what I think is so awesome is you formed this wonderful, wonderful friendship, this bond through, Carolyn being in the pageant and then winning. Tell us about that.
That is one of the best outcomes of being in the pageant, because I originally really didn't want to be in the pageant. I believed in the mission of the Cameo Club. and
You
the
wanted that
organization.
tambourine, I
wanted the
remember. The
tambourine.
tambourine,
Yes,
yes.
I wanted the tambourine. And I was just thrilled with how much camaraderie There really is. It's not a cutthroat competition, you know. I mean,
No.
you see the toddlers and the tiaras and some of these horrible things about pageants, but
Right.
no. Yes, it is a competition, so to speak, and somebody will get the tiara, but it really is about making friendships.
Yes.
And we have contestants helping fellow contestants to just be the best they can be. And probably my two best friends that came out of me doing the pageant was the queen and the first runner-up. And our court is still extremely close, extremely close. And there's just ladies that come along that you just hit it off with.
Just click.
You just click. And
Right.
Carolyn's definitely one of those. And
we clicked.
Yes.
Do you remember when you first met each other?
I believe it was after Virginia was in the pageant. And it might have been at her birthday party, one of her birthday parties, because Virginia was saying, Carolyn, you have to be in the pageant. You need to go talk to that lady over there. You need to go talk to her. So that was probably, because she was first in the pageant in 2019. So it was probably Virginia's birthday in 2008. I don't know. We've lost track.
Right,
When she
right.
was 103, 104.
Only 103.
Virginia did the pageant when she was 102.
That's right. That's right. And she probably was the oldest
Oh, I think
contestant
so.
ever, hands
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, we were trying to get her in the Guinness Book of World Records, but
If it wouldn't be for Virginia, I would not be here. She's the one that took her 2 years to talk me into being in the
Yes.
pageant.
She is persistent. It
Yes.
took
Oh,
she is.
2 years,
Yes,
and she
yep.
finally got you
She
to
finally, at her birthday party.
It was.
You need to see that lady over there and sign that paper. You're going to win. You're a winner.
and
I can see her saying that.
and Virginia was right. And the year she actually did the pageant, like she said, she was first runner-up. And then the P word came along.
Yeah, that bad
and
word.
we had to take a break, and we're trying to get back to our mission, which is to get into assisted living facilities, 50-plus clubs, areas where we go and perform, because we haven't been able to perform in a couple of years.
Well, this is the first time the pageant has had that return to normal,
Yes.
right? Because,
Yes,
you know,
our last pageant was in July of 2019.
right, right.
And we had to move it up. The pageant is May 1st, so it's right around the corner because things changed at the top at the national level.
Well, even the national one that, was held last summer, I believe,
Right.
that was all virtual.
That was
Yes,
all virtual.
everything.
And this year we're going to be back in person.
That's wonderful. And you placed in that pageant.
Yes, I did. I was, yes, I did.
Yes, you did. You were in the top 10.
I did.
By the way.
I forgot. I was in the
Carolyn's
top 10.
so humble. Yes, she was
one of
in the top 10.
One of the top 10 finalists for Miss Senior America in the United States. So that was just thrilling. And we were all on pins and needles as they called out the top 10. And then, so I think I was number 6. But
We're just saying she was 6. We know they always have the queen and the 4 runners up after the queen. So we just decided that Carolyn was 6.
Okay.
That was very exciting.
I bet.
It was an honor to be called for that.
And you all watched it. It was at a restaurant.
We had a watch party at
watch party.
Cyberg's. Yeah.
Cyberg's, right.
Yeah, and we, had the big screen TV and hooked it up, and they would play video clips. You had to submit video clips of like the gown walk and of the talent and stating your philosophy. And they played all the video clips, and it was better than nothing. But boy, we're excited to be back in person.
I bet. I bet. So the pageant's coming up on May 1st.
May 1st.
And it's going to be at the Florissant Civic Center.
Yes.
And we already shared the last time you were on the show.
But say it again.
Say it again. I'm going to be a judge.
Yay!
I am so excited and
You'll
so
have a
honored.
good time.
I know.
You'll be wonderful. You will
hope
put all
so.
the contestants at ease.
You think?
Yeah, I know you will.
Okay.
Yes, you will.
I'll have those very calming vibes.
Yes.
And I won't ask
Yes.
them, what
my
was
gosh.
that question about the
Snow
dwarf,
White that
Snow
you got?
White?
If
I
you-
won't ask anything like
Yeah,
that, I
you won't.
promise.
Okay. If you were Miss Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, you've heard of them, correct? And I said yes. If you were a dwarf, what would your name be today?
None of those.
Well, first of all, that is so just cheesy.
We were shocked. I was shocked when I learned that. I said, you let me know which judge that is. And our judging chair said, oh, I have an idea, and she's never going to be asked back again as a judge because that is just not even close to the realm of questions we want these judges to ask. We have a set number of questions that they have to get through. So every contestant is judged fairly on the same questions. But then if you still have time left over, then you can ask something that's off of their application because each judge has a copy of their application with what they've done in their life and what organizations or volunteer work, what their philosophy is. So that's fair game, but you don't worry about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
What does Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs have to do with...
Zero. Nothing.
Yeah. Okay. There's like zero connection.
No.
Okay.
And one of the judges came to my rescue and he said, well, you could be happy number 2. And I said, that's me, happy number 2.
You handle it very well. Yeah. I think I would have been probably giving him a look like, okay, buddy, I'll see you out in the parking lot. I'll see you out in the parking lot. So I want to know a little bit, if we can get a sneak preview about the upcoming pageant. How many ladies are contestants?
We have 9 contestants this year.
Okay.
And so far, they're all hanging in there. I started with 11. One lady had to drop out due to health reasons and another lady due to time restrictions. But those 2 at least said, put me down for next year. So I thought, okay, well, hopefully I already have a head start on next year's pageant. But we have 9 this year.
Can you give us any information about their backgrounds and what professions they were in or anything like that?
Oh, wow. I'd have to go back and read their applications, even though I typed all of them in, or most of them.
Do you know what talent they're going to, what type of talents?
I mean, we've seen one is doing a dance. We have several singers. We have one lady that's reciting an original piece that she wrote. We have a very talented artist. She kind of reminds me of Virginia. She's paints primarily, isn't?
I think so. Yes,
Adrian primarily a painter, and she what she's going to do on stage is she's got a piece of paper over one of her finished paintings, and she's got it outlined a little bit, but she's going to show how she uses her medium, whatever it is, to paint. And then her technique, and then she'll rip off the paper and show you the finished product, but extremely talented lady.
Yes.
So now, do all the ladies, they'll perform a dance number?
Oh, our cameo dancers start off the program. They have a opening number. And then the class of 2022 have a little introductory. It's not a real choreographed numbers because a lot of times you're dealing with non-dancers.
Right.
And it's amazing. You'd think singers would really have a sense of rhythm. And boy, they do, but not necessarily with their feet.
That's different.
So our stage directors, Nancy Pittman and Judy Davis, create some type of opening number to get them out on stage, do a little something, and then they come up and introduce themselves.
And I'm sure Carolyn's going to have a significant role since she's the reigning queen, and you're going to showcase her a lot. So you'll take your final walk.
Yes. And I give a little speech to welcome the contestants. And then I get to perform on the piano. I'll be doing a medley of moldy oldie songs.
And I know you'll be fabulous.
I hope so.
Carolyn, what do you think that day is going to be like for you? I mean, I can only imagine. Is it going to be emotional?
Oh, I think so, but it'll be a little bit bittersweet, but more sweet than bitter, because I'll be happy for the new queen and all the excitement that goes with it, and I will have enjoyed every bit of my tenure. So I think it'll be fine.
What do you want people to remember most about you with your reign? Being the queen. What do you think you'd want people to remember about you?
Oh,
Besides the P word, no P word.
No.
I think the fact that I was out there having fun and also promoting the pageant, and I made over 150 appearances.
Yeah, she was very present.
Yes. And
Wow.
everyone was just wonderful. And I even received a special honorary plaque from the mayor of St. Peter's for the city of St. Peter's for all the contributions that I made to the city of St. Peter's, which was very, very touching.
And I do want to add that we're retiring our 19/20 queen, Nancy Wilkinson, as well, because unfortunately she was the P queen. She got to do a few things in her reign. She did get to go to nationals in 2019. She got to do a few showcases, and then we were locked down. So
I know. So she didn't have as much of an opportunity. Yeah.
But now we had a coronation in June, and she did get to say a little something, do a little something, actually put the tiara on Carolyn. But that was just for our club members. She didn't get a chance to be on stage and say goodbye to an audience, so we're giving her time to do that as well.
What do you think people will remember most about Carolyn's legacy?
That she always had a great smile on her face. Show her a piano and she'd sit down and play it, and she just was always willing to do anything you wanted her to do.
Beautiful
she took
inside
the job
and out.
seriously.
Right.
She
Yes.
really did. Yes,
She did.
I was very dedicated.
She was very
You
dedicated.
definitely were. So now, what is the age range of the contestants for the next pageant? What would you say?
We have
Average.
I think, a 62 or 3 is the youngest, up to 81.
Okay. And how old do you have to be enter the pageant?
60 or older.
60 or older.
And obviously, there's no upper limit.
Right. With Virginia being 102. Okay. So is that typically, the age group you see?
Yeah. What's interesting is getting harder to find ladies in their 60s who even want to participate or have the time to participate because they're still working full-time. A couple of our ladies that are in it are making the time, but they still have full-time jobs. And many ladies also are babysitting grandchildren,
Right.
or taking care of elderly parents, or doing both. And they're very, very, very busy.
Well, I know that we've had so many guests on the show that actually, quote, retired, but they're still working. They found another part-time job, or they're very, involved in some sort of, hobby or something
Which
like
is
that.
great.
Which it is great. So
Yes.
we're seeing a lot more of seniors staying very, very active, which
is wonderful.
Yes.
And we certainly cannot wait to start being more active. I don't know how many parades Carolyn got to do, but we tried to do, at least 5-6 parades a year in addition to all the showcases. I mean, when things open back up completely, we do anywhere from 25 up to 30 showcases
wow.
a year.
Wow. Okay. Susan, I know you have been extremely busy preparing for this pageant. So what is that like for you this time of year? I mean, it has to be insane.
It is. Right now, with about, 10 days to go, I'm pretty much like a chicken with her head cut off. I have a wonderful co-producer, Helene Siegfried, and without her, I would not pull this off. Just not. She is my right-hand gal, and she's been my partner since 2016 when she and I took over being producers, and we're a good team.
Now, do you have to go out and recruit the contestants, or do you have ladies entering on their own?
Both. There are some by word of mouth, like Virginia hounding, and somebody hounded me
Right.
before I was in it. We also have 2 ladies in our club that had a publicity as far as getting a hold of local publications. Different publications.
Right.
They have a whole list of them. But they'll put in, like late fall, early winter, seeking contestants. And we'll have a little flyer we'll put out, or a little news blurb. And some people will see that. Hey, I saw your
Right.
ad in the Webster Kirkwood Times or whatever it is. And my phone number's probably plastered all over this.
Do you ever get any prank phone calls
Well,
because of that?
I did have a couple men call me and want to be in the pageant. And I said, no, you got to get your own pageant. This is for ladies only.
Yeah, exactly.
You told me I was being discriminatory. So I'm like, well,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you get men calling for their wives?
Yes, I have gotten a few of those. And there's one I tried to pursue this year. And my wife would just be the greatest contestant. I said, I believe you, but she won't talk to me. I could never get her to answer me. So
you never know.
You never know. I'm going to try again next
to get
year.
Carolyn.
2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And how long did it take for them to recruit you?
Almost 3. I went and watched the pageant for 2 years first. I mean, I actually went and sat in the bought a ticket and sat in the audience and watched it.
Yeah.
Before I agreed to be in it.
I'm so excited to see the ladies and see them perform and the talent competition. I think that's going to be just so entertaining.
It's a wonderful afternoon of entertainment. Yes.
So what time does it start?
2 in the afternoon.
2 in the afternoon.
Sharp. 2 o'clock sharp.
2 o'clock sharp? That's right.
Right.
We try to be right on time.
But the contestants all have to be there and the judges at 8
early-
o'clock.
Well, you don't have to be there that early.
Oh, I thought I did.
No, you don't.
Oh, what time do I have to be
You
there?
have to be there, I think, at 10, my dear, so you can sleep in.
Oh, I was
Yes,
planning on
interviews.
getting up at 5 in the morning on that Sunday. Okay. Okay.
No.
Good. Okay. So 10 o'clock, and then it goes to...
The interviews last in the morning. They'll probably start about 10:30, 11. I'd have to look at the time schedule. I do have a judging chair, and she's got this well underhand. But then they should be done with their interviews by 12:30.
Okay.
Then you get to eat lunch and take a break.
Oh, I like
Before you
that.
have to go to the theater.
The theater. Okay. And I hear it's a wonderful lunch they're preparing.
Oh, I'm sure that box lunch is just going to be yummy.
It
No,
always is.
I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Well, before we wrap things up, as you know, we dedicated this show to our lovely late friend, Virginia. And let's, if you guys want to say something about her, something you remember about her, how she impacted your lives.
You want to go first or you want me to?
I think it was always her positive attitude, no matter what was going on in her life, where she was living. Virginia, how are you? Wonderful. She would always say, wonderful. How are you, Carolyn? And it was just her manner and that was the way she just lived her life with positiveness and faith in God.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was a force of nature. And she said, after she got in the pageant, where is your kitchen band? We said, she said, you need to form a kitchen band. So we got together with our pots and our pans and our washboards and our homemade bases. And one of our ladies, Judy Davis, who's also one of the stage directors, raises peacocks. So we were coming up with a name.
Peacocks, the birds.
The birds.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness.
And so we came up with the Blingy Peacock. Virginia's Blingy Peacock Kitchen Band. And we have these shirts with these sequined peacocks on the front. And I'm hoping our stage directors are going to wear theirs in honor of Virginia. And I think they will for the pageant.
It would be lovely.
Yeah, come out in your peacock T-shirts to honor Virginia. But I think, like Carolyn was saying, her optimism was just unwavering. Even when during lockdowns, she started an optimist club.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. I remember her when she was on the show, and she talked about that, and because during that time, people were down and they were, feeling this doom and gloom, but she found a way. We need to be positive.
Yeah.
And she really enjoyed that. Every Sunday that people would come there. She says, it's wonderful. What goes on in our little meeting stays there because most people don't have anybody their age, to share things with or that they're going through. And she said, it's just wonderful for everyone.
Right.
Yeah. So
she was an amazing
lady.
woman. Yep.
You know what else? You heard, some of my thoughts about her, but something else I really loved about her. she had no filter. She
sure
said
did.
it. And I loved it. I loved that about her because I thought we would all kind of like to be more like that, so really say how we feel.
Yeah.
And, we tend to hold back. But no, she had this confidence, and I'm going to say it. And, doggone it, good for her.
I'll tell you, though, the older I get, I'm losing my filter.
You know what? I am too. I've noticed that
Me
about
too.
myself, and I like it. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, I wish I could have been more like this when I was, say 27, 28.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Right.
But now it's like, oh, well.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
not too
okay.
worried about it.
Well, we don't have any wine, but
Oh, well,
We've
here's
got water.
Here's
Here's to-
water.
to
Here's
Virginia.
Yes.
Here's to Virginia.
Here's to Virginia.
and to
and having
Carolyn.
Thank you.
Yes, and to having a great pageant.
Yes. Yes.
Great pageant.
All righty.
Oh, I got to take a drink.
You have to take a
too.
sip to make it official.
Good water, folks. Good
Yes,
water.
good water.
Excellent.
Well, we certainly enjoy having you on every time. We hope for you to come back. Can't wait for the pageant, May 1st. Be sure to check it out. And we will definitely circle back. Well, that's been another edition of Life's Third Act. Take care. You've been listening to Life's Third Act, a podcast for thriving in retirement. Sponsored by TuckerAllen, your estate and elder law advisors. Each week, we discuss topics and answer questions to help you better plan for your future. For more information, visit TuckerAllen.com. Subscribe and listen again next week for another edition of Life's Third Act. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.